Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and before we get into this video, we might as well just address the giant elephant in the room that, yeah, my hair is gone. Me and my girlfriend went on vacation to Connecticut, and I decided to just get a little haircut for that date, considering it was a special occasion. It's been 4 years now, so I figured, yeah, might as well get rid of the hair for the time being. I don't know if I'm going to grow it out again, 100%. If anything, I'll probably end up being lazy and it will happen, but for now, keeping it short for a little while. And yeah, so we went away to Connecticut. So basically, while we were there, we had a good time. We had a little cottage that we stayed at, and we went to a few places, and one of those places was Goodwill. On top of that, we also went to GameStop, so we went to a few places while we were there, just casually. So it's not like we were going there specifically to shop for video games and stuff. We were just around, and I happened to come across stuff while we were out. So in that time, I found some retro games and some really cool stuff. So I figured now would be a cool time to just show that off now that I'm finally back. So this wasn't one of the things that I got from vacation, but this is one of the things that my girlfriend got me for our anniversary, and that happens to be a wired Duke controller. So this happens to be one of the controllers that was based off of the original Xbox Duke, and I am a really big fan of the Duke controller, so I pretty much put it on my Amazon wish list to see if my girlfriend can choose this or anything else that was on there. Basically, I made a wish list, just a bunch of stuff. She ended up picking this out, and I'm really happy because even though my hands are small, and most people consider this one of the worst controllers considering how big the thing is, I actually like this controller a lot for some reason. I like the way it feels in my hands, and I actually prefer it over the slimmer original Xbox controller that was originally released in Japan. So very happy to have this one. It is wired. I took out the micro USB cable just to show you the thing. When you click this button right here, when it's plugged in, the original Xbox logo comes up and does that little thing like when the original Xbox startup happens. So it is a really cool controller. I'm going to be using this for a while. It's either going to be my main controller on PC, or it's going to be what I'm using for emulation from now on, depending on what device I'm doing it on. So it's a really cool controller. Don't know if it's going to be my foolproof main controller in general, but it is really nice, and I plan on using it a lot. So now on to the stuff that I did get. Starting off, we're just going to be looking at some of the Guitar Hero controllers I got. So I got 3 Wii guitars, all for $12.99 each, and I gotta say, it's a pretty good deal on those considering you find these hovering for $20 and above, so pretty happy to have found them all. I can't say they're all in perfect cosmetic condition, but I wasn't really expecting to find any Guitar Hero controllers in general, and even if I did, I wasn't expecting them to be in good condition anyway. Regardless, I always fix them up, so I'm not really too worried. Plus, a majority of these guitars are going to be used for parts towards my other guitars that I can fix up, since I already have 2 main guitars that I use. So first up, we got my Les Paul. This one runs pretty well. There's nothing really wrong with the strum bar. The frets are pretty good, but definitely going to be cutting the holes in the frets. That way I can make it to where they're a lot bouncier, meaning that the silicone inside the guitar itself. So I'm going to be opening up this guitar. Not sure exactly if I'm using this one for parts, but I'm keeping the stickers on it because I just want to be able to distinguish this one from the other ones that I have. So yeah, next one I got was one that's not in the greatest condition. The frets are perfectly fine. I definitely am still going to do the mods on these, but this is more than likely going to be a parts guitar that I use to basically just take out some stuff and put it in my other guitar and fix that one up pretty nice. So the thing that's wrong with this one is the down strum doesn't really get detected well, but that should be a pretty easy fix just by simply either slapping the thing really hard with something or going in there and actually cleaning it, since this guitar was really dirty when I got it. I basically just Clorox wiped it down, and everything was fine from there in terms of how dirty it was. Lastly, a guitar that I'm probably not going to do much modifications for besides for just cutting holes in the frets, this Guitar Hero 5 Wii guitar. So like I said, all Wii guitars. I haven't actually owned a Guitar Hero 5 Wii guitar before. I've owned plenty of those Les Paul guitars and the World Tour guitars. This one's a Guitar Hero 5 one. Has a really nice strum bar. I really like it, and it's actually pretty good for rake strumming. So basically just strumming slowly, but still being able to get multiple strums. I go like this on a World Tour guitar, and it actually does it pretty accurately. So I'm not going to mess with the strum bar on this one. I will probably mess with the frets on this one, but keep all the colors the same just because I like the look of this. And unlike the Les Paul, I'm easily going to take the stickers off of this one just because I don't have a guitar like this. So it doesn't really have to be unique with stickers. Plus, Dora stickers look kind of funny on it. But you know what? I don't know. I'll think about what I'm going to be doing with that. But regardless, we've already looked at Guitar Hero controllers plenty of times on this channel. Let's go and just look at some of the games that I got. So to start off, we're just going to take a look at two PC games that I got for $2 each, and that was Half-Life 2 and SimCity 4. I've been collecting PC games a little more recently. Back then, I really just didn't see a need for it, considering that Steam was the big thing. So my only physical copies of PC games were the GTA games, like the original GTA games, meaning GTA London 1 and 2 on PC. And then I had Guitar Hero 3 and Guitar Hero Aerosmith, and recently Guitar Hero World Tour. So what made me start collecting a little more was when someone came into my GameStop looking to sell PC games. When we couldn't take them, I basically just arranged a time to meet up with them to buy them myself, and I got the entire box for about 20 bucks, so that added a bit of a library to my PC collection, and I figured I would just add more on top of that. So I figured since these were so cheap, and they were pretty good games from what I've seen, especially Half-Life 2. I have played Half-Life 1 and loved it. I'm looking definitely to play Half-Life 2. I figured these would be some good games to get. Probably not going to be playing SimCity 4. It was just something I saw that was cheap enough, and I'm just going to add it to my collection since, you know, it was pretty cheap. So that's all the PC stuff. Yeah, let's get to the console stuff. So with the console games, it's the same situation as it was with the PC games. I figured I'd look for stuff that were cheap enough to add to my collection, and I didn't feel like spending a ton of money since I was on vacation, so I kind of just looked for stuff that, like I said, would just be something I can put on my shelf and expand on collections that I've wanted to expand on. So the Xbox 360 is my largest collection. I feel like trying to at least work my way towards a full North American collection. It's probably not going to happen, but hey, we might as well give it a shot. So first up, we got Blazing Angels 2, and that one was for $2.99. So don't know anything about this game. Like I said, I just felt like adding it. It seems like it wasn't played much because, well, it still has that little plastic thing on it. So right after that, we got The Crew, a game that I played previously on Xbox One when it was free with Xbox Gold. And yeah, I didn't play much of it since I wasn't a racing fan back then, but being a racing fan now, I might actually get back into a game like this. It does require a hard drive download, but you know, I'll probably end up playing the Xbox One version of the game instead of the 360 one. So that's all the 360 games that I got from Goodwill. Next up, we got some Wii U stuff, and I got some pretty useless stuff that I'm probably never going to play, but still, I wanted to expand on my Wii U collection since it is very small. So the games that I got were Skylanders Swap Force, Skylanders Giants, and I also got Disney Infinity. So these games were all $5.99. I believe this now concludes my full collection for Skylanders on the Wii U. I don't have any of the figures anymore, I don't think. I do actually have a box copy of Skylanders Imaginators that came in a bundle with a few of the figures. So I technically think I have the full collection. I'm probably just more than likely not going to play it since I'm not taking the sealed game out of the box. Might as well not, considering that it's just not really something I do when I'm collecting and stuff. If I find a loose copy somewhere, I'll probably end up just playing it that way, but I don't have any Skylanders figures or Disney Infinity figures, so I don't really know if I'm ever going to jump into something like this. Regardless, I felt like I needed to add more Wii U stuff to the collection since I have a very small library of that. I think that's my smallest library right next to Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo. So that's every game that I got from Goodwill. The last thing that I got on this entire trip was Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition, and this one was actually at GameStop. So we were at a mall. Since I work at GameStop, I always like stopping at other places and seeing what they have that I don't, and they pretty much had the same kind of stuff. It was just much bigger than the location that I had. The mall was much bigger, so they had much more space than something like I had at my mall, and believe it or not, they actually had the same kind of Xbox 360 section that I did. At my mall, we don't really have a big 360 section, considering that we pretty much sorry guys, we pretty much stopped selling a majority of 360 games. We really only sell some of the bigger ones nowadays, and they had just as small of a section there as I had at mine, versus at the old location I worked at that was more in town that had a much bigger selection. But this game caught my eye immediately. It was 20 bucks, and I definitely could have found it cheaper, but I figured since I was already there, plus I had my discount, I figured I'd just buy the game anyway. The staff there was pretty nice. You know, we asked each other questions about what they do versus what we do, and it was pretty fun. I had a good little experience talking to some new people, so I always love going around just checking out what other people have. If I ever go on any other vacation around, I'll probably check out their GameStops as well. So that's everything that I got while I was on vacation. It was a decent amount of stuff, and I'm happy to add all of it to my collection. And I'm happy that I was able to just get away from everything for a little while. We stayed, me and my girlfriend stayed in Connecticut for a weekend. So we got there Friday evening and then stayed until very early Monday. We left actually at 3 in the morning and got back home in New York around 6. So it wasn't too bad. I drove. I didn't take the ferry or anything. I just drove all the way through. It was actually my first time driving a bit of a distance like that. So it was a fun experience, and I'm glad I got to do it. So, you know, you would think that when I'm, you know, trying to take a break from things, I would kind of just go away from the video game stuff, but this stuff just doesn't seem to get away from me ever. It's something I'm always interested in, probably something I'll always have with me. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm very happy to show off this stuff to you guys. We'll start collecting more stuff soon, and I'll probably have some videos coming soon, including some where I probably work on these Guitar Hero controllers just to show you guys some cool stuff that I like to do with them. So yeah, guys, I will see you all in the next one.